I never liked the idea of going to a hospital because who does, right? But this medical side of me was always eager to have this clinical exposure in hospital with doctors and patients around and learn things practically because studying textbooks was getting pretty tedious. Kususampola, this is Sisang Shidelkar once again on your screen to share something interesting. So today I will be sharing my first ever clinical experience in hospital as a second year medical student. So the clinical appointments usually start when we get into third year, but during our time the system changed, so we were given the opportunity to start early but without prior clinical knowledge. So this clinical appointment is called MSGOP appointment, which abbreviates for medicine, surgery, gynecology, obstetrics and pediatrics. The main focus of this appointment was to actually learn history taking, examination of the patient, and the ward setup in these 4 different appointments, and the duration was 4 months. So my first clinical appointment was medicine, and the first day itself was such an awful day. We took 30 minutes bus ride from our faculty to the hospital, and we met our consultant sir, whom no one warned us about. I don't want to say much about him because I don't want to get into trouble. But if I share one thing, on the very first day, he told us, "You are just a medical student who doesn't know damn thing, but just some basic facts." Which is actually true. We don't know damn thing. And I know it must have been his way of encouraging us to work harder, but for me, it was a bit demotivating. And also, I was one of his top prey to tease and insult. But I must say, I'm quite insult resilient now. So even if you write some bad comments here, I don't think it would bother me much because I am insult resilient. The most challenging part of this clinical appointment for me as a foreign medical student was the language barrier, because most of the patients here are uneducated or they don't understand English or speak English. I can understand Sinhala and they can understand English, so history taking was such a tough chore for me. I had to constantly ask my Sri Lankan friends to translate what the patients were saying, and I know it must have been bothersome for them, but I really want to thank all my group friends for helping me with the translation, because without them I wouldn't have survived this appointment. The another language barrier challenge was during any case discussions or mini classes taken by junior doctors or medical officers. They would teach in Sinhala, the local language, and despite knowing foreign students were there too, so that was pretty frustrating for me. But I thought to myself, I chose to study in a foreign country, so it's not just me who's going through this situation. All the Bhutanese students here have gone through the same path, so I thought it's okay, I'll just deal with it. In the midst of feeling frustrated with the very first appointment, I remembered what our consultant sir said to us. He said, "The only person suffering in this ward is not you, it's the patient." So that really stuck with me, and whenever I feel like complaining, whenever my body is hurting for standing in the ward for hours, I try to think, no, I'm not suffering. This is nothing. Our seniors used to say medicine appointment is the most exhausting among the others, and it really was. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. This is us before the clinical struggle. Yeah. This is this is one, two, one, two, three. This is us after the clinic. Because we get 5 to 7 patients in a day, and we have to take histories from each of them. We have been standing for 3 hours. It's so exhausting. We have been taking histories here. Nigamchi is doing a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 patients. We took the history of 6 patients. My second appointment was surgery, so we get different consultants for different appointments. I am wearing my first ever medical scrub, and today is the first day of the second clinical appointment. We finished our medicine appointment, and today we have surgery appointment. I don't know how this day will be, because I heard our consultant is really strict and yeah, a very tough person, so I don't know whether I should be looking forward to it, but yeah, I'm kind of curious to learn from him. So yeah, but anyway, let's forget about the consultant for now and just be happy that I'm wearing a scarf. And for this consultant, we had to be in the ward very early, especially on Monday, so that we could keep the histories ready before he comes for the ward round. It's already 6:36, so I have to go to the surgery ward and take the histories of the patient. And this consultant sir may come anytime, so yeah, let's hurry up. So earlier I took histories from two patients, and I have another patient, but I think she's in a theater right now, so I cannot take history. This student room is really creepy, okay? I don't know, maybe because of this red curtains, it looks so creepy. We came here at 6:35, and right now it's 10:50. It's not even lunch yet, and I'm so hungry. It's tiring, guys. I was really excited for the clinicals, but I didn't expect that it would be this difficult. It's just my first day in surgery ward, and I don't know, I'm already feeling so exhausted. But yeah, let's see. I hope everything turns out great. So yeah, let's hope for the best. And I must say, surgery appointment was also a tiring one, but it was also pretty fun because I got to be in the operation theater for the very first time in my life, and I got to see clinical signs and physical trauma on the patients. My third appointment was gynecologist appointment, which is gynecology, which focuses on health of female reproductive system, and obstetrics, which deals with pregnancy, childbirth, and postpartum care. And to be honest, gynecologist appointment was my favorite among others because why not? We are dealing with women, especially mothers who are carrying life inside their womb, and watching them give birth to a life is something to be amazed about. I remember vividly when I first got to observe labor and delivery. It was such an overwhelming experience. During the second stage of labor, the mother, was unable to push the baby. She was too tired, so the episiotomy was done, and I could literally hear the episiotomy scissors cutting the vaginal opening like this. That was pretty painful to watch. So the baby came out and she cried, and to my realization, I was crying too. Maybe because it was my first time observing that, it felt really magical to me. Then I got to see the C-section delivery of my patient, and I couldn't be more excited for that. My first ever obstetric patient is undergoing C-section right now, so I'm really excited. Being in gynecologist appointment made me realize how tough it is to be a woman, but also how lucky we are to have this gift of giving life. So not only I'm excited to be a doctor and help my patient mother to deliver a baby, but also I am eager to be a mother someday. Excited to be a mother someday. I can't wait for that day where my future husband would hold my hand and say, "You can do it," while I am in labor screaming. Okay, I guess I should stop romanticizing too much. My fourth and final appointment was pediatrics. Pediatric ward has such a lively surrounding, and I got a lot of free time during this appointment because the number of patients were less. But the history taking in pediatrics is much more complicated than others. We basically had to write down the life journey of the kid or a child, which included periconceptional history, pregnancy history, birth history, nutrition history, growth history, developmental history. There were so many components for this pediatric history. But all in all of the 4 appointments successfully concluded after 4 months, and now here I am making a video of it. So before I end this video, I want to share two observations I've made during this appointment. It's not related to academics, but it might help you in future. So the first observation is the consultants for medicine and surgery. They're usually strict. They don't even smile much. And the consultant for pediatrics and gynecops, they're usually lively, smiley, and quite lenient. Now, the second observation is quite related to that. Not all consultants are same. All the consultants are different. Some like it when you ask doubts and questions. Some don't. Some don't even mind even if you answer the questions incorrectly. All they want us is to speak up, improve our communication skills and confidence. But some only want correct answers. So depending on that, you have to act accordingly. So my advice is, before you start your clinical appointments, always make sure to ask your seniors what type of consultants they are, so that you could get an idea of what type of person they are and behave accordingly. So for now, that's the only advice I can give. To hear more stories, please subscribe to this channel and give it a thumbs up. So thank you so much everyone for watching this. Kadin Chela.